What's up, good people? Thank you for clicking play on another episode of Big Man, Tiny Kingdom. What's up to all you wonderful people across this beautiful earth? I truly hope y'all are out here living like you got $1 million in the bank. I've definitely been focusing on living my life real big. However, I recently found out from my doctor that I need to focus a lot more on living a healthier life. My cholesterol and blood pressure levels are not where they need to be. Nothing too crazy, just enough to where the doctor is saying, hey, we got to get a handle on things. Doc is talking medication. For now, I'm gonna follow doctor's orders, but I'm thinking clean eating, losing some weight, and being more active. I was doing good with all of that not too long ago. I ain't gonna front. I've been lazy for the last couple years, and now it's time to gear up and get right. I hate that it's taking me to find out some bad health news to scare me straight, but I'm blessed to have another day to work on improving things. Stuff like this is why I feel we should all strive to create those unforgettable memories right now, because you never know when it's time for your clock to run out of batteries, and it's on us to take care of our kingdoms. I can't ignore that sentiment any longer. Time to man up. I want to share with y'all about my pickup truck. I own a 2021 Chevy Silverado. I love my Chevy, nicknamed her Raven, after my favorite football team from the great city of Baltimore. Aside from the everyday use, my truck is also my camping vehicle. I've made some modifications to it to make it more usable for my needs. One thing about me is that I refuse to sleep in a tent on the hard ground, so I decided to get myself a truck bed tent, which is a really cool solution. I like it because if I need to access the truck bed for other reasons, let's say I want to move some furniture, or maybe I need to use it as a work vehicle, well, with the truck bed tent being a portable, temporary setup, once I'm done with my camping getaways and I remove it, then I'm easily right back to using the full bed of the truck any way that I need. Now, when it's time to get away for some camping, the back of the truck becomes my bedroom. I put my 6-inch memory foam mattress inside the back of the truck, set up the tent to the frame part of the truck bed, and just like that, I got a home away from home. If you're not aware of this type of tent, best description I would give you is imagine something that looks like an igloo, holds up to weather damn good. I've been in warm and cold conditions. I dealt with heavy rain. I've stayed dry and comfy and bug-free each and every time. The brand I have is made by a company called Right Line Gear, but of course there are other companies making them. Off the top of my head, Napier is another well-known brand, as well as Kodiak. The truck bed tent is what I started camping with. I've used that for the last 7 years. However, I got to a point where I was ready for something else. I have a bucket list plan to do a cross-country road trip, so I thought to myself, rather than spend money in hotels for when it's time to sleep, why not just camp along the way, especially if I'm only wanting to get some rest and don't intend to stay a full day. I might just need a couple hours nap. Well, then I can stop at a rest stop, hop in the back, and take in a little downtime. Rest stops are free. They're open 24 hours daily. There's access to bathrooms. Some of them that I've been to have picnic areas. Usually when I'm on the road, I'm grabbing something quick like fast food. Well, instead, I can make my own meals right there at the rest stop, and that way I'm eating a little healthier. Sitting here talking about all this now has me thinking I need to get motivated about making that trip happen. But with the truck bed tent, it wouldn't be the most convenient option for that type of excursion. You lose privacy. It might even be a safety risk. Strangers would easily be able to figure out that someone is back there. Also, depending on location, I could be breaking the law. I looked it up for Arizona, and it clearly states that you can't set up tents at rest stops. Even though the truck bed is technically attached as part of the vehicle, it still has the appearance of a tent. So more than likely, the police will probably tell me to pack it up, maybe even give me a citation. Aside from the road trip, I started to feel like I wanted a permanent camping solution for my truck, and I also felt ready for something that was more stealth, something that wouldn't easily give it away that I was inside the back of my truck, and something that could also hold up well in the elements without having to do much to set it up. I decided to buy me a camper shell. Some people refer to them as truck caps, toppers, or canopies. The name brands you hear most often are Lear and ARE, but like any product, there are plenty of options. I decided to go with a company called Jason. I bought their Trek XD model. It's a high-rise cap. I really don't notice much difference in how it's made in comparison to the popular brands. It has everything that I was looking for, and it cost me a lot of hundreds less than what I would have spent if I went with Lear or ARE. I'm definitely satisfied with my purchase. I've gotten some great use out of it already over the past year that I've had it. It really has simplified my camping setup, less time spent on getting things ready. Like I mentioned earlier, the truck bed tent held up really good in any weather. I would say that with the cap, I'm concerned even less about whatever the weather will be. Devil's advocate to all that, I would say that I appreciated the inside height of the tent. I do have the high-rise cap, but I feel like there was more head space with the tent. Plus, the tent had windows in the top that allowed you to look up at the sky. So imagine nighttime being able to see the moon and stars while laying in bed. With the cap, I have side windows and a big back window door, which is still cool for viewing the scenery, but it's not the same. There is also the matter of bugs. I am not a fan of dealing with the bugs. Doesn't matter what products I bought to get bugs up off away from me, they still seem to find a way to keep me company and make me their food. With the tent, any openings were zipper sealed and screened. With the cap, the back window door is wide open. I've watched tons of YouTube videos of people trying to alleviate that by coming up with their own screen door designs. Closest solution that I've found that does a pretty good job of keeping the bugs out is a tent called DAC, which I bought this to attach to the window door. It's decent, but there still are some small openings where bugs can get in. The way you take care of that is just stuff some clothing or a pillow or something like that inside those areas. And it does make it more sealed up and not easy for bugs. Plus, it does take away from your window view. I'd rather not have to use it, but I do like it. For its intended purpose, it does a really good job. So I have my camper shell. I've made some modifications to it. I did buy insulated with the carpeted bed liner to help control the condensation. Definitely got to watch out for that because I don't want mold growing and building up in my truck bed. The windows came with a light tint, but I wanted to stealth it out as much as possible. I paid $100 or something to have limo tint installed, darken it up pretty good. Only time you can see anything is if you turn the inside lights on. And even then, it's just the outline of something. You can't clearly see what's back there. That wasn't stealth enough for me. So what I did was add some perforated vinyl to the outside of the windows. I had some custom printing done to it with images of my favorite outdoor places. The printing company I paid to do it did a wonderful job. Shout out to Super Signs in Tempe, Arizona. Additionally, I got me some deck storage drawers. A lot of camping people don't favor the deck drawers because of the price and because they don't pull all the way out so you can access the full length of the storage areas. I love them. Suit my needs just fine. Glad I went this route versus trying to build my own. I'm not that handy anyway, so I probably would have messed it up if I did that. Sure, the price is up there. However, I didn't want to have to worry about water damage to the wood. Yeah, you use the water sealant, but I know that over time you have to maintain that and reseal it again and again to keep it water resistant. That's where the advantage goes to the deck drawers. When I didn't have my camper shell, I didn't have to worry about that. I was able to wash my truck without even having to think about water getting inside the drawers. Plus, you could put 2,000 pounds on top of the deck drawer. So again, if I was using this as an everyday vehicle for work, or I wanted to haul things, maybe there's a pile of cement that you have to move at the work site, or a lot of junk, or whatever the case may be, the deck drawers allow you to put that amount of weight on there, which makes it very functional for a lot of people, aside from the use that I have it for, which is camping. Another thing I bought for inside the cab of the truck, I got this under seat storage drawer made by a company called DZ. Now, what's cool about this storage compartment, if you own a truck, then you know the frustrations with having to lift your back seats when you want to access the floor area. Makes it more work if you happen to have things on the top of the seats. For example, if you have little ones and you have a car seat back there, or for me with camping, I have a portable fridge that I keep in the back seat when I'm on the road. If I wanted to get something from underneath the seats, then I would have to remove the fridge first. Well, that's no longer concerned with the DZ drawers. They slide out from both sides of the truck. I use these drawers to store my emergency items, jumper cables, emergency cones, flashlights, things like that. Everything that I've purchased to modify my truck is all about convenience, being able to do things in the least amount of steps, allowing me to store everything that I like to bring camping with me while trying to have an uncluttered space. I will say the one thing that I purchased for my shell that I could have went without and saved the money was that I decided to buy some roof racks. Well, I haven't got to use them yet. I don't see myself getting much use out of them, at least for now. My initial thought was to have a place to store the bigger items that don't fit well in the back of the truck. My camping chairs, or tables, and fishing gear, sleeping bags, or other items that don't fold up and fit in the deck drawers. Only problem is, the height of the truck with the high-rise camper shell on it, it's not easy to reach the roof rack, which is probably 8 something, close to 9 feet high. So I bought a collapsible ladder thinking that would solve the reaching problem. And sure it does. However, where do I store the ladder? I figured I would get one of those ladder mounts and store it on the roof rack, but I can't reach the roof rack with the ladder. So how am I getting the ladder on the roof? And even when I get it up there, how am I getting the ladder back down? However, the roof rack is on there now. Had I thought about this before I purchased it, I would have opted rather to save the $650 I paid, but eventually I will figure out a functional use for it. I'm planning on making a few other modifications to my truck. I wouldn't mind having a 6-inch lift kit. Every time I see a lifted truck on the road, I know for sure that I would love Raven to sit up taller. Another thing is that I want to put the sensors on the bumpers. I don't know why I'm so terrible at parking my truck. I've never hit anything, but I feel like I might. Having those sensors beep to let me know I'm getting too close to something, whatever the cost, it would certainly be worth it to me. There will definitely be other products that I'd like to add to my truck. The one purchase that I cannot wait to make happen, my travel trailer. And I don't know yet if that is for sure the type of RV I will buy, but makes sense to go that direction since I already own a truck that is capable of pulling some weight. Whatever I end up getting, Raven will always be a part of my family. And even after owning the RV, I will always plan to make camping trips with just my truck. To all y'all car, truck, and van dwellers out there, thanks for the inspiration and the creativity that I see y'all do on YouTube. I'm a weekend warrior for now, but I've seen some vehicles that definitely got me considering a tiny home on wheels. Until next episode, y'all keep it kosher out there. This is Big Man, Tiny Kingdom.